Hi, I'm going to share Chapter 7 from Child Healthcare in America by Judith Palfrey. The focus of Chapter 7 was on professional advocacy, and the profession that it focused on the most was the medical profession, as in medical doctors and the medical field. The barriers that they face is mainly time, space, and then the political framework within the medical field itself. Um, there is a hierarchy in the medical field where they kind of have to earn their spot by using more political measures than by research measures to get where they want to be. They're also taught from medical school to come in with this mindset of they have all the power and it's their responsibility to do everything. But one of the options that Palfrey shared in that book was that the openness and the willingness to be able to share that power with their patients, with their fellow clinicians, especially in a clinical setting, to be able to make a difference through advocacy and just be willing to speak up, even though that can take some kind of a risk. In reading that chapter, it made me wonder about the medical side of applied behavior analysis in reaching children with autism. I found an article that listed the barriers to receiving applied behavior analysis services in children with autism spectrum disorder by Lifton, Gavin, Broda, Hodges, and Spector. They did 540 surveys and found that the primary barriers were location, income, the caregiver's education, the diagnosis of when the diagnosis happened, how long had it been since they had been diagnosed, and everything to do with that diagnosis. And then about the caregiver, did the caregiver feel empowered? Did the caregiver feel comfortable in receiving and accessing services? Is the caregiver comfortable in the system in which they have to obtain these services? All of this impacted how soon and whether a child receives services or not. Most children, I know according to this article, they said they can be 4 years old before they even receive a diagnosis. And then they can spend 2 years on a wait list before they can receive any kind of therapy. I saw this personally in Louisiana, where it would take 2 to 3 years to even get on a wait list for a diagnosis, unless you had the money to spend like $3,000, $4,000 for the diagnosis for your child, which most families with children with disabilities do not have that kind of money. One direction that I would like to go in the research and advocacy is you have this barrier of it may take 2 to 3 years for a child to get a diagnosis, and it may take another 2 to 3 years for a child to even begin services. That's a huge barrier, especially since most ABA clinics, excuse me, stop taking children at age 8. So if it takes 6 years for a child to get in, then they're only going to get 2 years of therapy before their only services are going to be through the special education programs. So that is a direction that I would like to research and put the research on the table so that advocacy can happen for these children that are in between the ages of 8 and 21 that have no access to these kind of services except through the school system. So, thank you.